Good afternoon, students. Today in this session, we are going to learn motion and measurement of distance from your science. You can find it on your book, page number 38. So, let us learn about this lesson. This session may go little long because this is little long chapter. So, let us start the lesson. Prologue. In this chapter, you are going to learn about the story of transport, measurement, physical quantities, length, and motion. Especially this chapter is from your physics. So in general science, all the what you call different types of sciences are together here. So let us learn about this lesson. On reopening of school, the teacher asked the students how they spent their summer vacation. She asked if anyone had gone out of the city during the summer vacation and how they traveled. Silpa visited her grandparents in Hyderabad. She, along with her parents, went by an aeroplane. Rahul went with his grandparents in Hyderabad. He, along with her parents, went by an aeroplane. Again, same repeated. Rahul went with his parents to Manali, a hill station, by their own car. Nikita traveled with her parents by train to Lucknow to spend her summer vacation in her maternal uncle's home. Based on these facts, we can understand that now we have different means of transport to travel different places. But how did people in ancient time travel? Let us discuss. So, my dear students, even you may travel to different places using different means of transport. Some of you might have ride on aeroplane, some of you might have ride on bicycle, motorcycle, auto rickshaw, car, bus, etc. So let us learn how this transport system started at the first time, or what was the transport means of transport in the ancient time. Let us learn through this story. So, story of transport. In ancient time, there when no means of transport were available, people traveled mainly on feet and carried luggages on their backs. So at the ancient time, there was no means of transport, or if there, then it was especially difficult, or people had to travel a long distance by feet and had to carry their luggage of their own on their back. So after domestication of animals, whenever people started taming the animals for their comfort or for their support, human beings started using animals such as horses, camels, and elephants for transportation and carried goods from one place to another. So whenever people knew to tame the animals, then after people started using animals to carry the goods, and even people they started taming horses, camels, and elephants for carrying goods and people from one place to another. So the invention of the wheel brought about many changes. Carts pulled by animals were used to travel from one place to another. The wheel is now the basis of all our vehicles like bicycle, scooters, cars, and motorbike. So, dear students, when the people invented wheel, after that came many changes, because at the first people started making the cart using the two wheels at the back, and the same cart were being pulled by the animals, sometimes by horse, camel, bull, donkey, etc. So these wheels are the very great invention. Even nowadays we use wheels in many types of vehicles that we ride on, such as bicycle, scooter, cars and motorbikes. All these have wheels. The invention of steam engine introduced new sources of power. It led to the development of trains and automobiles. Motorized ships were used as means of transport on water. These inventions greatly reduced the time to travel from one place to another. So my dear students, so after that, slowly and gradually people started inventing different types of things as per their needs. So people invented steam engine. Steam was produced by burning charcoal and all, and the same steam used to move the engine. So in this type of engine were invented later on. So after that it led to the development of trains and automobiles. So you might have seen the steam engine in the train. Although nowadays also, if you visit Darjeeling, you can see a local train, or you may say toy train there. It is being run by the steam. So there is still steam engine can be seen in this train. So in this way this steam engine brought a huge revolution. After that people started making motor that can be utilized in the ships to move on the water. So this water transport reduce the time and distance, especially if you had to travel from one place to another while land, then it takes long time. If you take the shortcut through water, then it takes less time also. So in this way motorized ships were used as the means of transport on water later on. So this invention greatly reduced the time to travel from one place to another. So today electric trains, aeroplanes, supersonic jets and high-speed automobiles have further reduced the time taken to travel from one place to another. Spaceships are also used for transportation to outer space. So my dear students, nowadays there are several means of transport which can some of them are fastest means of transport, some of them are land transport, some of them are water transport, and some of them are air transport. So in this way nowadays this means of transport has reduced the time to reach from one place to another. There are several means of transport. It is said already that trains, aeroplanes, supersonic jet that can move in the air very fast, and high speed automobiles like you can say metro train and all. This reduces the time taken to travel from one place to another. And nowadays not only these spaceships are also available that can transfer, and we can go to into the space through rocket and all this spaceship. Now measurement, these all are aware about your transportation. So nowadays there are several means of transportation. I already told you there are water transport, air transport and land transport. Now regarding our measurement is one of the most important process in science and in our daily life. We get up in the morning, get ready and go to school. At what time should we get up? How long we take to get ready? These questions are related to measurement of time. How much distance do we have to travel from one home to the school? This question related to the measurement of length. When we buy fruits and vegetables, the shopkeeper measures the quantity. This is the measurement of mass. And when we fall ill, the doctor measures our body temperature. This is the measurement of heat. Hence, measurement is the process of comparing the quantity of the object to be measured with a standard unit of measurement. So, my dear students, measurements are the very important process in our life or in the science. We need eat every day and for everything. So whenever we need to get ready for the school, we just try to check the time. We see the time, at what time we have to get up, at what time we need to have our breakfast, at what time we need to get ready for the school, how long time it takes to reach the school. These are all this says, or it is the just it is it is just related to the measurement of time, whereas the distance that we need to travel is related to the measurement of length. So we measure time also, length also, weight also, and temperature also. So this measurement is very important. So to measure all these things, there is some what you call appliances, or some what you call devices that can measure all these things. So whenever we measure the time, we need the clock or the watch. To measure the distance, we need this what you call measuring tape, etc. In this way, if we have to measure the weight, we need the balance. Similarly, if we have to measure the temperature, we need what you call thermometer and all. See, in this way there are different devices to measure the different things. So standard unit of measurement is the in the earlier times, people used different parts of their body to measure length. Not only earlier time, nowadays also in informal way we measure different things using our body parts. The length of an object was measured by using hand span. You are seeing hand span. You can use your whenever you spread the hand, at the time the tip of the thumb to tip of the little finger measures the distance. So in this way you can use hand span. Then after, foot step. Cubit means arm length. Foot step means that is called pace also. Foot and fathom, length of the outstretched arm. So these were used as the unit to measure the length. Nowadays in informal way we also measure some distance in this way. If we have to measure some clothes, then we use our simple outstretched arm, saying that this is 1 meter, 2 meter, randomly. So dear students, our body parts are some units of measuring length also. So our body parts also helps to measure to the length informally. But hand span, cubit, foot step and other unit based on the length of body parts are not accurate and not reliable, because if you are tall and if you have long fingers, then the hand span of having long fingers and hand span of having short fingers are different. So these are not accurate and reliable. So these are the alternative way for the standard unit of measurement. In the earlier time there were no measuring devices, so that people used to measure the things using their body parts. So nowadays these are less used or no use. They cannot be used as standard units of measurement. Of the length of the body parts vary from person to person, so therefore people realize the need for a standard unit of measurement. So standard means the same measurement are used for different purposes at the different places. That will be accurate and same. So dear students, standard unit of measurement are those that have a fixed quantity value and therefore do not get difference or vary from person to person and place to place. It is necessary to have standard unit of measurement for the uniformity and convenience in measurement. So standard units, suppose 1 kg of salt, if you buy over here, the same quantity you can find whenever you reach in Kerala or if you reach in America. So this is called the standard unit. But if you try to measure the things with your hand, then it gets vary from person to person. So unit of physical quantities. In 1960, scientists adopted uniform and convenient common sets of standard units for the measurement of various physical quantities. This system came to known as the International System of Units, or the SI units. So SI unit is the short form of the French name System International Units. The SI units that are used in all the countries of the world for some physical quantities are SI unit of measuring length in meter. So this meter, length, second, meter is the standard unit of length, whereas second is the standard unit of time. Kg or kilogram is the standard unit of mass, and the Kelvin, K, is the standard unit of temperature. These are the standard unit adopted by the scientists in 1980 for the common sets, or for the convenience of the people of the world. So these are same all over the world. So these are called SI unit also. So SI means standard unit. So measurement of length. Length is the difference between any 2 points or places. Width and breadth, depth, thickness, distance, and height are all the measurement of lengths. It can be measured using a ruler or measuring tape, a meter, and so on, which is convenient for the required purpose. So my dear students, I am getting difficulties to read this because of the PDF that I have formed clicking the photo from your book, although I am trying to read correctly. So length is nothing but it is the distance between 2 points or 2 places. So this height, depth, you may say length, breadth, all these are the distance that we measure, and these all are the measurement of length. So for measuring this length we need either a ruler or measuring tape or a meter tape or something else to measure it. So these all are standard or used everywhere. So at the first picture you can see flexible tape used by the mason or civil engineer. Mason means the person who makes the house of cement, sand and bricks. So they use like this tape. Not only they, but some other carpenters and other people also use this tape. And another is flexible tape used by the tailor or the you may say the shopkeeper who sells the cloth. They use this type of tape to measure the clothes and all. To measure small distance or lengths, a pencil or a notebook has a small length which is much smaller than a meter, so it is inconvenient to express such small lengths in terms of meters. So the length of such a small object is measured in centimeters or millimeters. So my dear students, the smaller lengths or short lengths are measured in millimeter or centimeter, whereas little longer distance are measured in meter, and even longer that is kilometer. So in this way lengths are measured. The distance is, so you can see there 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. So it is the smaller unit than the meter. So 100 centimeter is equal to 1 meter. So 10 millimeter is equal to 1 centimeter. In this way you can fragment the units into the smaller unit. The thickness of a thin wire is of very small length, which is smaller than a centimeter, so it is inconvenient to express such a small length thickness in terms of centimeters. So the thickness of the such object is measured in millimeters. So even smaller than centimeter, we can use millimeter to measure. So you have already learned through these sentences that smaller units are measured in millimeter, little bigger units are measured in centimeter, and even bigger units are measured, sorry, lengths are measured in meter. So to measure large length or long distances, the distance between two towns or two cities is very large, so it is inconvenient to express such large distance in terms of meter. So the distance between the long distance is measured in kilometers. So 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meters. So long distances are measured in kilometer. So do you know, children, very large distance, for example the distance between the stars and stars are measured in light years and not in kilometers. So light year is the very long, or you may say it is the large or very large distance measured. Especially light year denotes that the light, speed of light that can travel in 1 year. How long distance can travel by the light in a year, that is called 1 light year. So it is approximately given here 946000000000 meter, or you may say 9460000000 kilometer. So here if you try to convert this into international system of numeration, then 1 light year is equal to 9,460,000,000 kilometer. No, 9,460,000,000,000 kilometer. So how to measure the length of an object? To measure the length of an object, see a card. We place the scale or ruler along the object in such a way that the zero mark of the scale coincide with the left, and these all things I have taught you in mathematics also. You have to measure in this way, showing in the picture the correct placement of the scale given here. You should not bend your scale in this way. Wrong placement of scale given here. So whenever you measure certain mark or distance on a paper using scale or ruler, you have to follow these rules.
Attention please. The time now is 5 p.m. Thank you.
So worn out ends also, sometimes due to repeated use the zero mark of a scale gets worn out and cannot be clearly seen. In some cases the ends of the scale may get damaged or broken due to various reasons. In such cases we should measure the length of the object starting from any one other mark of the scale. See that 1 centimeter mark, we subtract the reading of this mark 1 centimeter from the reading of the other end. So suppose if zero mark is not there, then you should not use the same scale from there, but you can measure, still you can measure the distance properly, but you, in place of measuring from 0, you can measure from 1, and later on whenever you get the total you can subtract 1 centimeter from there. Suppose if zero mark is not there in the centimeter, then you are measuring the first point at the 1 centimeter and it reaches 11 centimeter, then the total length of that centimeter will be only 10 centimeter, because you have not measured 0 to 1 centimeter at the first. So you have measured from 1 to 11, so total length of the thing will be only 10 centimeters. So in this way you can still be used the same worn out scale. So here position of an eye also should be in the correct position. Look at there, the correct position of the eye is also important for taking measurement. Our eyes must be focused exactly above the points where we are making our measurement as shown. Position A is the correct position of the eye. So you can see there position A is the correct position of the eye, and B and C, if you see the point from B and C, then these are the wrong position to see the point. So you have to keep your eyes exactly focusing above the point, straight above the point. The correct position of the eye for reading the scale is at A, while position B and C are wrong. So my dear students, here is given some oral questions to solve. You try to write these questions also in your multiple choice questions also in your copy. So take write the correct answer. The basic of all our vehicles is either engine, fuel, wheel or electricity. So obviously wheel is the basic of our all vehicles. So the standard unit of length in the SI unit is meter. You have already learned. Kelvin is the SI unit of temperature. Kelvin. You have learned over here all these things. Yes, here Kelvin number 4. And in number 4, 1 meter is equivalent to 100 centimeter. You have already learned there. Number 5, the distance between the star is measured in light years. Number C. So concept of rest and motion. So if we look around our classroom, my dear students, I am not teaching this in detail because you will learn all this work in your senior classes in detail, because if I try to focus on these points, then you will have the problem, because you are not familiar with this all the concepts. So let us learn just basic of this measurement. So if we look around our classroom, we see many things. Many of these things, such as the window, door and blackboard, do not appear to move. They are called stationary objects. So some objects cannot move, they are immovable objects, so they are called stationary objects. So on the other hand, we see humans, other animals and various objects moving from one place to another. Do not think that animals living thing moves and non-living thing do not move. Some non-living things also move. So here is not living and non-living thing, but here are here is the concept of movement and stationary objects, movable and stationary objects. So some animals and some objects move from one place to another. For example, a man walking on a road, a girl playing in a playground, a bus moving on a road, and the moving pendulum of a wall clock are all in motion. So these are the examples, shows that one thing is common to every moving object, that is, it keeps changing its position continuously. So whenever the objects move, it changes the position from one place to another or continuously. A body is said to be in the motion if it changes its position with respect to the stationary object it is in its surrounding. So a body is said to be at rest if its position remains constant with respect to the stationary object in its surrounding. So students, if the object moves, then they are not in they are in motion, whereas the object do not move and stay at a place, then they are at the rest position. Without moving, if some objects stay at the same place, then they are at the rest position. Or if the object moves here and there, then that is in the motion. So list 5 objects showing motion. So you have already learned some animals move from place to place. Clocks, hands of the clocks also move slowly or gradually, slowly or slightly, you can see. And then after, bus also move from one place to another. These all are the example of objects that shows the movement. So some objects that have the rest, everything that cannot move from one place to another, you can say those things are at the rest. So you can write the example yourself. So type of motion, consider the 3 moving objects such as a moving car. The bodies are in the motion, they do not move in the same way. So object move in various ways. It is convenient to classify the motion of different objects in the following categories. So my dear students, movement of the bodies also vary in the from bodies to bodies. Some bodies, moving bodies, move in the different ways. So different objects move in the different ways. So let us learn about this motion also. Okay, these motions are of different types. So number one is rectilinear motion. So when an object move in a straight line, its motion is called rectilinear motion. Straight line. For example, a car moving in a straight line. Suppose if there is a straight highway there, then car move in a straight line. So that is the example of rectilinear motion. Similarly, ball falling freely from the roof of a building. Suppose a ball, if you throw a ball from the roof, then it just fall in the straight line. That is also in the rectilinear motion. In the number C, motion of a striker on the carom board. If you strike the pieces of carom, then you just strike straight, so it goes straight. So that is also in the rectilinear motion. And movement of the drawer of a table, whenever you pull out the drawer of the table, that is also in the rectilinear motion, because the any movement of the object in a straight line is said to be in the rectilinear motion. So another is circular motion. When a body moves along a circular path, it is said to be in the circular motion. Circular path means that turn around in the 60 degrees, 360 degrees. For example, that the earth moves around the sun in a circular path. Some of the example of circular motion are the motion of the moon around the earth, running of an athlete on a circular track inside the stadium, and motion of the tip of the hand of a watch or clock. So that moves around in the circular forms. So whatever objects moves in the circular form, they are in the circular motion. The tip of the hand of the clock moves in a circular path. So and the third moment is rotatory moment. A body is said to be in the rotatory moment if it moves about a fixed axis without changing its position. For example, the motion of the blades of a fan, the wheel of the sewing machine, a giant wheel, a merry-go-round, a spinning wheel, charkha, a potter's wheel, and a spinning top also rotatory movement. Rotatory means to move around frequently in a fixed axis at the same axis. You are seeing the spinning top also. Whenever you turn it around, it is stay at a place and then just keeps moving around it. So there are given some example of rotatory movements. So there are three types of movements, or motions, not moments, motions. So they are rectilinear motion, example moving car in a straight line, falling ball from the roof of the building, etc. Circular motion, that moves around a circle along a circular path. For example, the movement of the moon around around the earth, movement of the earth around the sun. Similarly, what you call hands of the clock or the watch that turn around in a circular path. So these all are the example of circular motion. And rotatory movement or motion, some objects move around the fixed turn around in a circular way in a fixed place. For example, blades of the fan that moves around in the circular way, but it is fixed at a place. Similarly, wheel of the sewing machine and the spinning top are the example of rotatory motion. So here is your lesson. There is yet two more types of motions. They are periodic motion and non-periodic motion also. So before
Hi,
that
Karan.
there
Battery
is
needs to be charged. Plug in to charge the battery.
so before that there is some oral questions given in the box. So soldiers in a parade is an example of circular motion, rectilinear motion, rotatory motion. So parade, soldier in a parade is a rectilinear motion because they move in the straight line forward. So which of the following is an example of circular motion? Motion of the moon around the earth, motion of the tip of the hand of a clock, running of an athlete on a circular track, or all of these. So all of these are the example of the circular motion. And in number 3, the motion of the blades of a fan is an example of rotatory motion. You have already learned. So periodic motion, we know that the earth moving around the sun always takes the same amount of time, that is 365.14 days, to complete one revolution. Periodic motion, so a motion that repeats itself after regular intervals, it is called periodic motion. So after a certain period of time, if it repeats the same motion, then this is called periodic motion. So you have already learned the example, that is movement of the earth around the sun. It just takes 365 days and 6 hours to complete one revolution around the sun. So it comes every after 1 year or 365 and 6 hours later. So that is called periodic motion. The swinging pendulum of a wall clock, the needle of a sewing machine, heartbeat of a normal person are example of periodic motion that occurs after some time or after some amount of time. So just below that there is non-periodic motion. In many cases the motion may be repetitive but not periodic. The motion that does not repeat itself at regular interval is called non-periodic motion. Swinging of our arm or leg or the beating of our heart while running are repetitive but not periodic. So periodic means to come at the particular fixed time. It occurs at the fixed time period, whereas non-periodic means that do not occur at the fixed time period. Anytime it may occur. Suppose if you swing the hand today, then you may not swing tomorrow at the same time. So it is not non-periodic. It may occur before also, after also, or any time also, but it is repetitive. You can repeat it but not at the fixed time. So that is called non-periodic motion. So here ends your lesson, that is motion and measurement of distance. So you will learn these all in details in your senior classes also. So let us try to solve the exercises from the lesson. Kelvin is the unit of, write the correct answer, multiple choice question. Kelvin is the unit of temperature is correct. 1 centimeter is equal to none of this meter, because 1 centimeter is equal to dash meter. Here you cannot write 100 meter, 1000 meter or 10 meter. So none of this is correct. Centimeter is smaller unit than meter. So SI unit of mass is that is kilogram. And number 4, the motion of a pendulum is periodic. You have already learned motion of the pendulum is periodic. Number 5, which of the following is not an example of periodic motion? Motion of a pendulum, hand while writing the earth, or a swing. Which is not an example of periodic motion? That is hand while writing. Hand while writing is correct. So circle the odd one, give reason for your choice. Hand is pen, cubit, meter and foot step. Meter is odd here because all other are non-standard unit of measurement. They are not non-standard measurement units used to they were used before SI unit were invented. So number 2, second, kilogram, Kelvin, foot step. So here which one is wrong? It is foot step because all other are standard unit of measurement, whereas foot step is non-standard measurement. So number 3, sofa, table, falling stone and pen. So here falling stone is odd because it is in the motion, whereas sofa, table and pen are at the rest. Number 4, blades of a fan, giant wheel, swinging pendulum, spinning top. So blades of the fan, giant wheel and spinning top are the what do you call circular motion, whereas this swinging pendulum is the periodic motion. So swinging pendulum is odd here. So you have got the reason also. I told you why these are odd, so you need to mention those things also there. In number C, short answer, name 2 means of transport used. So you can write on land, bus and train, in water, ship or motorboat, and in air, aeroplane and helicopter you can ride. So number 2, why is it necessary to have a standard unit of length? For the comfort and convenient. For we need this standard unit of length. It is very necessary to have a standard unit to measure the same thing. It's equal quantity or equal length everywhere. So number 3, what is rotatory motion? So you can write this also from here. Rotatory motion. What is rotatory motion? Rotatory motion, a body is said to be in the rotatory motion if it moves about a fixed axis without changing its position. So you can write the same here. So what is the SI unit of the following? SI unit of length is meter, time, second, mass, kg and temperature Kelvin, that you have already learned. You can write all these. So I need not say all these things because you can get these all answers in your lesson itself. Although I am giving you model answers, you try to solve it. So answer the following question. What is motion? Define rectilinear motion. When is an object said to be in the motion? Write some types of motion. So you can write these all from here. What is motion? It is here. Yes, it is here. What is motion? A body is in motion. A body is said to be in motion if it changes its position with respect to the stationary object in its surroundings. So you can write the same here. Then what is define rectilinear motion? It is also over here. Rectilinear motion. When an object moves in a straight line, its motion is called rectilinear motion. You can give example also of each. When is an object said to be in a motion? The object is said to be in the motion when it changes its position frequently. You can write here. Yes, when it changes its position with respect to the stationary object. Same answers here. what is motion and when is an object said to be in motion. These I have almost similar answer. So write some types of motions. So you have already learned about the types of motions. They are rectilinear motion, circular motion, rotatory motion, periodic motion and non-periodic motion. So after that you have fill in the blanks. The standard unit of mass is kilogram. You have already learned. We use a meter rod to measure. Meter rod is used to measure the length of the cloth and all. A body is said to be at rest when its position does not change with time. Number 4, to and fro motion describes periodic motion, and a car moving on a straight road is in rectilinear motion. So in this way you can write the answer of the question. So try to complete these all exercises in your copy and you can show me. Thank you very much.